Queens, New York, October 30th, 2002. Inside a small recording studio tucked above a barber shop, hip-hop legend Jam Master Jay, real name Jason Mizell, was working on a new beat, surrounded by friends. Then came the buzz. Upstairs, laughter mixed with bass lines. The door was locked, as always. Access came only through the buzzer. Then they heard a faint knock. Jay Brown, a longtime friend and courier, went down and looked through the peephole. He recognized a familiar face through the small glass panel. Ronald Tinard, Washington. He pressed the buzzer. The door clicked open. Washington greeted Jay, shook his hand, calm, almost casual. Then from the shadow, another man stepped out. Karl Jordan Jr. A flash. Two pops. Silence. Jay Mizell collapsed by the mixing board. The two gunmen fled as his friends screamed for help and dove for cover. NYPD detectives canvassed Jamaica, Queens that night, asking business owners, neighbors, anyone with a camera. But this was 2002. Surveillance wasn't everywhere yet. No cameras inside the studio. No footage from the hallway. Nearby shops had already taped over their security cassettes. There were witnesses, but terrified ones. In that room were 5 people: Jay Brown, Randy Allen, Allen's sister Lydia High, and 2 brothers, Eurico and Tony Rinkin. None were physically harmed. All heard the shots. Few dared to speak. The case went cold. It took 2 decades for the truth, or something close to it, to make it to court. February 2023, Brooklyn Federal Court. 2 men stand trial, Ronald Washington and Karl Jordan Jr. Prosecutors say the motive was revenge over a 10-kilogram cocaine deal gone bad. The defendants, once friends of Jay, had been cut out of the profits. They wanted payback. Witness Jay Brown testified he buzzed Washington in. He thought it was a friendly visit. Lydia High testified she saw Washington step aside as Jordan raised a gun and fired. The Rincon brothers confirmed the sound of shots, the panic, the chaos, but said they couldn't see who fired. Prosecutors tied it all together with old testimony, drug ledgers, and a motive as cold as the night itself. Defense attorneys called it all circumstantial, pointing fingers back at others inside the studio, arguing that someone else could have owed money and their clients were scapegoats. But the jury didn't buy it. Both men were convicted of murder while engaged in narcotics trafficking. Life sentences, case closed, or was it? If this were a clue board, every person in that studio would have a card. Motive, opportunity, and secrets we'll never fully know. They're the official culprits. Convicted. Sentenced. Motive, revenge for being cut out of a drug deal. Opportunity, buzzed in through the locked door. But if that's all true, why did it take 21 years for anyone to testify clearly? Fear, loyalty, or something more tangled? Brown was the man who pressed the buzzer. He opened the door, letting the killers in. He later testified against them. But questions linger for Jay Brown. He was the courier, the connector, the buzz man, the one who knew everyone's movements. Did he simply trust the wrong people? Or was he the bridge between death and dead presidents? Could money, fear, or manipulation have put him in the middle? Eurico and Tony Rincon were in the studio when it happened. How could they not have seen anything? Some speculate, purely speculation, about jealousy, tension, or old arguments. Did someone feel underpaid, overlooked, or betrayed? No proof says so, but in small rooms with big egos, loyalty can shift in an instant. Randy Allen managed Jam Master Jay's finances and daily business. He paid bills, oversaw payroll, and handled the studio's accounts. When the Run DMC era slowed down, Jay's studio was losing money. Because he was the most proximate person to Jam Master Jay, could he have known of a stash somewhere no one else knew about? Prosecutors revealed Jay had begun supplementing cash flow with small-scale cocaine deals to keep things afloat. Could Allen have known about these deals? Jay was threatening to pull the plug because of the missing merchandise. If Jay had followed through on his threats, Allen's income would have all but disappeared. Could Allen have orchestrated this whole plot? Could he have decided that now was the time to make his move and do a takeover? No evidence ever linked him to the murder, but on the clue board, he had both access and motive and opportunity. Lydia High was loyal to her brother, friends with Randy, and close to Jay. She testified courageously, one of the few to take the stand. But speculative minds ask, if she or her brother were involved, why would she identify the killers? Guilt, fear, or truth? Again, no facts support this theory, only the lingering question of who benefited most from Jay's death. Prosecutors said Jay's side business was simple. He'd front cocaine to trusted associates, they'd sell it, repay him, and split the profits. In late 2001, a 10-kilo shipment vanished. Jay, probably suspecting that Washington and Jordan had something to do with the missing shipment, decided to cut them both out of later deals. The two goons, not having it, demanded repayment. Jay refused. That missing shipment, its ownership, who held it, who lost it, became the fuse, the buzzer at the door, the bomb. The defense countered, it wasn't Jay who owed anyone, it was others in his circle. But with no paper trail, no seized cash, no camera footage, and no surviving records, every side of the story was hearsay wrapped in fear. When detectives finally broke the case in 2020, they didn't find new DNA or video. They found courage. Witnesses who'd stayed silent for 18 years finally spoke. Some call that justice. Others call it self-preservation. Even now, the story divides fans and investigators alike. Was it a simple revenge killing, or a setup layered in money, loyalty, and betrayal? In the end, two men will die in prison for killing Jam Master Jay. But if you follow the red strings across the clue board, money, loyalty, access, fear, you start to wonder if the whole picture was ever really solved. In the clue of life, truth doesn't always confess, and maybe somewhere in Queens, someone still knows who really set him up. Now that you've seen all the players, the timelines, and the theories, what do you think? Was this a straightforward revenge hit, or something deeper, involving someone inside the circle? Drop your theory in the comments, and tell us who you think really set up Jam Master Jay. If you found this breakdown powerful, hit that like button, share it with someone who remembers Jam Master Jay, and subscribe for more deep dive investigations into hip-hop's biggest mysteries. This is Nik Nak News, where stories never die. They just play until they're solved.